Welcome to the Vector Garden. In this video, we're going to build this construction here. So this is a live effect. If I move this around using the direct selection tool or the group selection tool, then you see that the effect adapts to it. This can be built in an RGB file as well as in a CMYK file, but you have to take care when using some of the document profiles. So in the first part, I'm going to build this, and then after that, we are going to look at the things you need to watch out for when using, for instance, the web document profile when creating a new file to create this. So first of all, this is a square and an ellipse, and I'm going to start with the ellipse. So I'm just going to draw the ellipse, and the ellipse has to get a white fill, which it has here. We're going to take a look at the appearance panel while doing this. So you see we have the white fill. And then we are going to create the square. I'm just taking the rectangle tool and drawing the square. And the square doesn't get a fill, but instead it has a stroke, which is some kind of blue, but actually that doesn't matter. And we have a stroke weight of 1 point. And also the stroke is centered on the path like this. So the next thing is we need to select those two and group them. So I'm going to Object Group, and then they are grouped. The next things we apply to it get applied to the group. So I'm going to select this, and then we need an additional stroke. And this stroke is going to be red, and it's also going to be dashed. And so this is how it looks now. And also now something else matters. So the stroke needs to be below the original appearances of those objects. You see some things have now changed. So the dashes along this here are now gone. They can be slightly seen, which is anti-aliasing. And then we have that dashed. Also, we only want to see these dashes in a certain part. So I'm going to select this, and then we are going to Effect, Pathfinder Intersect. So the dashes are now only around this intersection, and they are also hidden by that white fill of the circle, which is on top, but they are thinner because the circle is hiding them. So what we need to do next is to make this stroke twice as thick, because that one as well is centered on the path. And now it's as thick as the original one. So what we now need is just a blue line around that one. And we are going to create it. I'm just going to add a new stroke. And that one is going to be blue again as well. And it's not going to be dashed like this. And you see currently it's at the top, so it's hiding everything else. Now we select that again and move it to the bottom, like this. So now it's only happening at the bottom, so you only see it where it's larger than everything else. So it's making this one here twice as thick, which is of course not correct, which disturbs the illusion. So what we have now to watch out for, or what we have now to create, is that that stroke only is down here like that. So in order to achieve that, again, we can just highlight that stroke and then go to Effect, Pathfinder, and we are going to subtract. So we are going to subtract the thing on top from the thing on the bottom. The top is the square, the bottom is the circle, so we're going to subtract. And now only this part here has that blue stroke. That in here is hidden because this as well is below the content, so the white fill is hiding it. And that's what we have got, like this. And you see, I can move that around and the thing adapts quite well. So What do we need to watch out for when we select a different new document profile? If you go to File, New, and select something from the web, like this one, and then let's create a new rectangle. Then when we go to the Layers panel, then you see that this has the meatball. In the Appearance panel, you only have a stroke and you have a fill, but that stroke is to the inside, as you see here. And that causes this meatball to appear, so the target symbol is highlighted, which is called a meatball, and that shows you have special appearances applied. And that is what ruins the effect that we wanted to get, because we need to align the strokes to the center, which is part of why that construction works.